So let's get to some questions. Anybody have? I want to say to the audience. First thing, for the audience who are listening, they're viewing right now. Don't forget one thing. I want to mention something. I forgot to mention it. If you like this video, please click like and share. I have said many times on Facebook they shadow ban my platform, my profile. They even hit me up for copyright strikes from talks like this where there's no music in it. They do their best to prevent me from talking on these topics since the George Floyd incident. I've been talking about black issues. So they've been after me for a long time on Facebook. They do not allow me to boost any posts. I used to boost my posts when I worked as an imam. I boosted for many years on their platform. No longer they allow me to do business or to boost posts or pay for ads or anything on Facebook. So for those who want to assist me and like these type of talks, you can hit me up. If you want to donate something, you can hit me up on Cash App. And the link for it should be in the page, or I add it at the end of the video, but it's $ Islam's Finest, right? It's $ Islam Finest, right? Next, if anybody will have any questions, I know some sisters told me they was looking forward for this sister to talk. So if you have any questions, I hit a link. I put a link. I'm hitting it right now. Or you could ask a question in the comment section, and I will post it so the sister could read it, so we can answer. She can answer any type of business thing you have, any business questions you have. I know one sister who's accounting. She has an associate degree. She's banned from Facebook right now, but she has an associate degree. Yeah, some sister. She loves you, and she was really waiting. She's waiting for you to talk. I know she has some questions about accounting. She need to start her own business. I know she's watching.
If you out there listening, Tiffany,
you know her name.
With your associate's degree, you can hire yourself out as a virtual bookkeeper. Okay, you don't even have to leave your home. Okay, as long as you have internet access and a computer, you can hire yourself out as a virtual bookkeeper. To find a format that you can use, take a look at my profile on LinkedIn. Okay, it's a format to that. Okay, and on LinkedIn you can acquire clients as well. Okay, so if anyone has Tiffany, if you need to talk personally and there is you don't have access to Facebook anymore, you can call me at my office. My office number is 318-946-1758. And that goes for anyone, 318-946-1758.
And all her business information, her website is in the description of the video. She asked me a question. She said, do she think that the type of business matter?
No, I don't. I think that you should endeavor to start a business in anything that moves you, in anything that you're good at. You know what you're good at. You know your worth, okay, and your skill set, okay. So as long as it's a halal endeavor, go for it.
She said, how do we become a Wells Fargo or Walmart, these type of companies that last forever? How do we make a business like this?
You start small. That Walmart, we studied Walmart in school, okay? And that man started out as a small mom and pop shop, okay? And Walmart didn't go public until about maybe 10, 15 years ago. Walmart was still owned by her family. Okay, you know, so there is a wealth of information that I can provide to help you scale your business. So first you have to start out with a business plan and have a successful business. Then once you get a successful business going, you have some options. You can go public and sell stock to raise money, just like Facebook did. Okay? You can go public and sell stock to raise money, or you can find private investors. You know? And what happens with Black-owned businesses is that once we reach a certain level, you're gonna get a lot of white companies trying to buy you out. Okay, look at BET. BET reached a certain level and they got bought out. Okay, BET is now owned by white people. Okay, they made him an offer he couldn't refuse.
Yeah, somebody was saying we were taught to build institutions. We were not taught to build institutions. We were taught to make a paycheck and slave for others. That's perfect.
Yes, yes. And now we're trying to break that mold. Okay, and the only way to break that mold, there's nothing to it but to do it. You have to just do it. You know, and you can finance your company with your job.
Somebody asked, what does the sister think about COOP?
Co-ops.
Co-ops? Okay.
Yeah, co-ops. Co-ops is when you come together and pool your money and you own shares with it. Co-opting is wonderful, especially co-op farming. You know, I have a lot of farming clients as well. You know, so co-opting is a good way to raise money in the community, but you have to trust one another and you have to have the contracts laid down.
I'm looking for any more questions. If somebody want to come on the live, I already put the link for the live. If somebody wants to come on live, I already put the link on there. Okay. Here's the next question.
Yes, halal stock investment. Halal stock investment is great. It's a good way to build wealth. Okay. And if you have a halal product, then you can go public and sell your own stock. Okay. But halal stock investment is great. You have to do your research though and make sure that the company is not investing your money in any haram activities.
And there's some companies, there's some halal or halal Islamic organizations, business organizations that focus on these things. A lot of them on Facebook.
Yes.
I see a lot of brothers. I try to get one of them one day to come maybe online. I'm trying to look at some other questions that's coming through. Sister said shukran for the answer. I have a question then. What about what is a quick way with little money? What's the best business right now under COVID?
Anything virtual, any virtual service providers, any service that you can provide virtually where all you need, like administrative services, administrative assistant, accounting, bookkeeping, any service that you can provide virtually. Website development. Okay. Right now during COVID, virtual non-contact businesses are doing quite well, and restaurants. I have a new client. Well, he's not a new client. He's an old client, but I helped him, and with his grit, they invested into a restaurant, and the restaurant cleared $500,000 in the first year. Mashallah, right? It's a halal business. Okay, he came together with his family and he asked them for money and they gave it to him. Okay, Black man. Okay, he asked his family for money and they gave it to him, and he developed a restaurant and it cleared $500,000 in the first year off top during COVID. Okay, so restaurants are good right now. In any service industry, in the service industry, any service that you can provide virtually, in my humble opinion.
Okay, what about if somebody wanted to take up a trade? What's start their own business with a trade? What
I
trades are
think,
good to start your own business?
yeah, I think electricians, any kind of handyman service, any kind of AC HVAC service, where you can go in and do the air conditioning, because these are things that people need regardless of how the economy is doing. They're going to need their HVAC, they need electricity, they need certain services, okay, that are economy proof. One of the reasons I chose accounting is because it's economy proof. It doesn't matter what the economy is doing, you're going to need me.
MashaAllah. Um, Somebody asked a question. Let me see. I hope this isn't off topic subject, but have you guys heard of anything dealing in riba and regarding the business loans aren't considered riba? Yeah, business loan are riba. If it's from a bank and you have to pay back interest, it's considered to be riba.
Sure is.
That is
It
riba.
sure is. It's
Any
riba.
loan where you have to pay back interest, it is riba, Sister Monica. If I was you, Monica, and you wanted to get into some type of business, I would find business partners, somebody
Yeah,
like yourself, and
investors.
you put your finances, you put your money together and start your business. I tell you a quick story. Long time ago, because I have a felony, I have a criminal record background. So once one of my associates told me, Muhammad, you've been in prison, you could get disability. So I went to try to get disability, right? Because they do offer disability for inmates if you locked up for a certain amount of time. So I went there, and this guy was a doctor, a medical doctor. He's a physician. He said, "Let me check you out and whatever." He said, "Listen, listen, man, you better get up out of here. Ain't nothing wrong with you." He said, "What you need to do, you got a felony." He said, "What you need to do is give other people just like you want to have problems getting a job, and you put your money together and get a
Together
business and
and
get a
develop a
business,
business. That's
develop a
right.
business." He
And
said,
that's
"He
how
said."
you do that.
And he told me
That's
this
how you do that.
the system, the white people. He said they ain't gonna forgive you. They're gonna always hold it over your head. Just get your money together, get other brothers just like yourself, and go start your own business.
Exactly. And we
Mm.
call that flipping a job. That's how you flip a job, especially if you have a criminal background. S Corp, C Corp, or LLC, which is better as far as taxes? Let's take it one by one. The S Corp is really, really good if you have a cash rich business. If you have multiple partners and y'all dealing with a lot of cash, it's good to have an S Corp because you can take money out without paying taxes on it. Okay. A C Corp, you're going to pay 20%, 21% flat tax on whatever profits you make. Okay. An LLC is good because it gives you the protection of a C Corp and it flows through to your individual tax return. So as far as taxes, I would say if you're developing a small business, I would say a C Corp because the flat tax of 20%, 21% is lower than the taxes on an LLC, which flow through to your personal income tax, your 1040, and it can be as high as 35%. So I would say a C Corp. But back to flipping a job. In the meantime, this is how you flip a job. You take your salary from your job. That's what we do at halalhouse.org. We put the client in position where he can flip his paycheck. Okay. So if you can save 30 to 50% of your paycheck, every paycheck, you have enough to invest in a business. Okay. After a period of time.
He told me that many times. Yeah, that's a good idea. MashaAllah.
And you can flip your job into a business.
What about couples, married couples? How can they flip their income into a business? We have a lot of couples.
Well, as Muslim women, we are in a good position to open businesses. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, your husband is responsible for food, clothing, and shelter. And your money is your money. So you can flip it into a business and share that with your husband if you want to. It's up to you.
Because, you know, we have a lot of married couples. I have some of my friends, you know, because New York is very expensive. And there's some
Yes.
brothers, you know, they both, the wife and husband, got to work.
Yep.
A lot of couples like this. Every nationality, both of them
Yep.
got to work. Everybody in the
Yep.
house is working. So how can a couple take them? What's a good investment for a couple to take their money and flip it? And I have another question after that also.
Well, I'm not an investment specialist, but I am a business specialist. So if you want to flip your money into a business in New York, I don't know, because
About
I don't live in New York.
migrating? Because some people, there's some brothers I know, couples I know, they talk about going down south to invest.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
what
because
I
it's
did.
cheaper.
I'm a native New Yorker. I'm a native New Yorker. I'm from Brooklyn, you know,
Yeah, I
and
know. Trust me.
I migrated south. I migrated south because the cost of living is cheaper, and you can make the same money that you make in New York in the South, you know. And a lot of people, I have a retail business that I work, you know, that you know, I invest in, you know, with other partners where I don't have to actively participate in the business, and I make money that way, you know. And then there is the accounting business and the Halal House Foundation. Okay, Halal House Foundation is not a stream of income for me, but at some point I'll be able to pay myself a salary. So you can have several streams of income in the South, and it's easier to generate that in the South because the cost of living is cheaper. Okay, now in New York, I don't know how you can do that on a small scale, because the average house in Brooklyn now is going for $500,000 to $1.2 million. You know what I'm saying? So I really don't know how people are making it in New York right now.
You know, I have
I really don't.
some of my associates who I know have couples and have money. Some of them have moved out of New York, either to like Philadelphia or down south,
Jersey and Jersey
Jersey,
too.
PA, in the south, like North Carolina, South Carolina. Uh, uh,
Yeah.
uh, only people who stuck up here is like people like myself. But what about migrating? What's the benefit of migrating from New York to like down south for business purpose?
What in my experience, it was easier for me to start a business in the South than it was in New York for licensing and taxes and all that. Okay. Then when I migrated south, I was an employee. Okay. I was working as a staff accountant, and I was able to make the same money in New Orleans and Florida that I did in New York, and the cost of living was cheaper. So I was able to bank a considerable amount of money,
Mashallah.
you know? So
Mashallah.
I think migrating, that is one of the key reasons to migrate, is that the cost of living is cheaper and it's easier to do business than it is in New York.
Because
You
I
know,
was
just the
listening.
licensing and the taxes alone.
Yeah, 'cause I was listening to another brother who was talking about business, real estate actually. And he's saying that the best option for real estate, when you look to buy real estate, you look
Uh-huh.
where it's cheaper to buy real estate. Out of
Yes.
states, for example, another state, which state is cheaper?
Yes. Yes. And then right now you want to look in real estate. I specialize in real estate as well. You know, my concentration when I studied in school for the accountancy was on real estate. Okay. And in real estate, you really want to look in areas that are underdeveloped. Okay. You know, areas that are underdeveloped. Right now, Harlem is not the place to be trying to buy property because it's being gentrified already. Okay. Certain parts of Brooklyn is not the place to be trying to buy property right now because it's been gentrified. But like here in the South, there are neighborhoods that are underdeveloped where you can buy property cheap, cheap, cheap and develop it and gentrify it yourself. You can start a gentrification yourself if you have enough money. You know, you can buy the property, fix it up, sell it. Buy the property, fix it up, sell it. You can flip properties down here very easily.
Somebody was saying that North Carolina is booming as well as South Virginia.
South Virginia, exactly.
Exactly. I think that, you know, because I think when we look in some of the American history pertaining to like Tallahassee, some of the places where the Black Wall Street and places like that, yeah, and Black Wall Street in general, is that, you know, that is something that Black people need to continue to do. You know, build our own industries, communities, despite what happened in the past. You know, because we just need to learn how to defend ourselves and defend our investments.
Exactly.
And you know, and we live in some different times, but right now in the U.S., there's certain states where certain people who migrated to America are the majority of peoples in these areas or in these states. So we need to really look at these things, how to empower ourselves as peoples. You ever read this book? I'm gonna show you a book now. Powernomics. You ever got a chance to look at this book?
No, I haven't seen that yet.
It's by Dr. Claude Anderson. Dr. Claude Anderson wrote a book for Blacks. It's called Powernomics, and he talks about how why we're in the condition that we are in when it comes to economics, and what are some of the things that we need to do when it comes to building wealth. Some might criticize the book, might say, well, it's based on a capitalist view, but Dr. Claude Anderson is an economic, I believe his master's in economics, and his doctorate degree is in education. I think we need to look at it as in what's the cause of Black people not able to work together, because he addressed that. He addressed some of the issues of the misbehaviors of Blacks. Like, for example, it's a classic one. The Black person will say, I don't want to buy ice from the Black person who's selling ice, but he want to buy the ice of the white person because he think the white person's ice is colder. Ice is ice, right? So he talks about this type of mind setting and misappropriate behavior. You know, some of the patterns that he adapted that we should follow, which he does criticize the Arabs and the Asian Muslims, I mean the Arabs and the Asians, but he says that we need to adapt some of their ways because they use their language and religion to unite their peoples by their race to do what they have to do for their peoples.
Exactly.
Right? I think this is a good book. It talks about a lot of the issues in the Black community, our mind setting, and how and what industries and how we need to do what we need to do. I was looking for,
and I'm sure he included business development as one of them.
Business development. He talks a lot about different business and business ideas himself. A whole bunch of them. There's a lot of them he talks about. But I think as African American Muslim, I looked at his book when I read it. Right, when I read his book, I sat down with myself and I thought, reflected, Islam promotes a lot of this already in the religion.
Exactly.
We have what we call Islamic economics, Islamic finances. We have in basic fiqh, we have something called al-bulu', business transaction, buying and selling. This is basic fiqh, right? We need to start indulging in some of these things and some of these practices. But Islam isn't much into empower the Muslim. You know, when we read the seerah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the first battle was Battle of Badr, the Battle of Badr, right? The first battle.
Right.
Who financed the Battle of Badr? A lot of the Muslims, when we talk about Prophet Sallallahu in the Sira, his biography, who financed Badr? uh, who invested? You know, weapons didn't come out the sky. The
No,
Muslims have to find the little money they had. They have to
they put it
finance into
together.
this. You
Yeah,
understand?
yeah.
So I think Muslims need to really take a good look into Islam. Islam talks a lot about these issues. I want to mention one thing, right? Was something that was on my mind last night, and you know, when we look in American history, and especially when it comes to the U.S. government related to the blacks, you know, I feel that Malcolm X, or Martin Luther King Jr., and others were assassinated because the U.S. government didn't want too much progress for black,
True.
and these people were assassinated, and other black thinkers were assassinated, like Fred Hampton, Black Panther people from the black individuals from the Black Panther parties, or criminalized or put in prison because the government didn't want certain type of progress for black peoples, and these individuals were the mouthpiece to direct black peoples where they need to go. We already see with Malcolm with his years with the nation until he converted to Sunni Islam, he still was promoting black people's do for self. Martin Luther King Jr. at the end of his life was seeing that black peoples need to go to be do for self, even though he wanted to do the peace, the march for the poor man's march, and that's when they assassinated him. But
Yeah,
assassinated him not for a lot more than just that. And like
right.
Marcus Garvey, for example, somebody mentioned Marcus Garvey, right?
Yes, he was assassinated. Well, yeah.
You know, when we study about Islam, right? When you like in American history or an American setting, when you study about Islam in school, like I learned about Islam in high school in global studies. One of the first things you learn about Islam is what?
The Prophet Muhammad.
Prophet Muhammad, but historically, you learn about from certain events in history. How was
Mm-hmm.
America discovered? Who discovered, according to white people, they say, well, Christopher Columbus. Well, what was he doing? He was looking. They say he was looking for a path to go do business in India for Spain because the Muslim control
Spain.
the Muslims at the time. No, not that time. The Muslim control trade business.
Yes. Yes.
And they didn't want to, the Spaniards didn't want to do business with the Muslims because the Muslims run Spain for like 900 years. So
Yes,
he
they
was
did.
looking to go over the Muslim world to find a way to do business with India, for example, right? So that showed that the Muslim was the one what controlling economics then. Muslims been at the forefront of economics for a long time. Even today's politics, you will find in today's politics in America when they talk about the Middle East. Well, why America care about Iraq and care about Saudi Arabia? Because they have resources in their land.
That's right.
We need to start thinking as African American Muslims like this about resources, finance, economics. This is a big part of Islam. You know,
Exactly.
there's a statement by a famous scholar in Islam, Imam Shafi'i, right? Imam Shafi'i made this famous statement, which is contribute to him. Men yuriddu dunya fitliya bi'ilm, wa men yuriddu akhira fitliya bi'ilm. Imam Shafi'i said, whoever needs the dunya world, dunya, he does it with knowledge.
Yes.
And whoever needs the akhirah, the hereafter, he does
He
it with
doesn't
knowledge.
knowledge.
Let's set that in now. Let that set in. من يريد الدنيا فليه بأم. Whoever needs the dunya, he does it with knowledge. Meaning you have to learn about business transaction, what type of business to invest in. Some Muslims believe, African American Muslim believe, business and Islam are two different things, and it's not.
No. No. Islam is a complete way of life. And business is one of the foundations of the religion. That's one of the first things that Allah speaks about in the Quran outside of Islamic law. You know? is that go out into the world and trade and establish yourselves. And,
Definitely,
and
definitely.
you know, so
Do you have anything you want to say for a closing argument? I mean, I'm
in
sorry, I'm
closing,
sorry. In closing statement, I mean, I'll be in court
yeah,
sometimes in this.
yeah, I know.
I'll be in court on the streaming service, and I'm just like this on the phone. You know, I'll be in court.
Yeah,
So you make a
yeah.
closing statement. I'm sorry.
As a closing statement, I just want to say that as an Islamic community, African American people have to learn to come together and pool our resources and invest in each other. Okay? If we don't do this, we're going to wind up losers. And
Yeah,
that's all I have to say.
we're gonna lose big time. We're losing right now. Uh, um, you know, sometime when I used to be imam, people used to ask me, Abu Bara, why you don't go and say these things, teach things to black people? We don't. They are in more need than us because they have the understanding. And I just shake my head like you have to fight black people to want to accept these things and to listen and be,
Yeah, but
you know,
I believe those who truly embrace Islam have ears to hear.
yes.
Those who truly embrace Islam have ears to hear, because on a personal level, my whole business acumen changed when I embraced Islam. My whole viewpoint, my whole everything changed when I embraced Islam. You know? So for those who truly embrace Islam, I believe they have ears to hear. And if you're going to emulate anyone else's behavior, emulate the behavior of the believers. You know?
Inshallah. So if anybody have any closing questions, if not, if you want to find the sister, I put her business website, her nonprofit organization. After the end of the video, inshallah, I'm gonna put your Facebook connection.
Okay.
And I'll probably put your business number on there. You want to put your business number?
Yeah, you can put the number 318.
Yeah, put your business number.
946-1758.
I said, call the number again. I was talking.
318-946-1758. And that number is for halal bookkeeping and tax service.
Okay, Sister Jazakumullahu khair. Inshallah, we could do this again. When you freak, I know you're very busy at times, but we definitely do this again because we got to find you a husband now.
No, I'm not in a rush.
Yes, you are. I'll be reading your Facebook post. Trust me. Yeah.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. All right. Well, thank you for the platform and for the opportunity to come on and make a contribution to the community. Thank you for that, and I appreciate it.
Inshallah. I seen you on another program on YouTube.
Where?
You was talking about marriage and relationship.
Oh, yeah.
You look. I know you're looking for. Yeah, I know. We can help you. Yeah, I can help you.
Yeah. We were talking. I did that for my friend. I did that broadcast for a friend who was promoting his matchmaking service.
Yeah, matchmaking service. Yes.
Yeah, and he wanted to know how Muslims meet each other. You know, so I can only use my own story. You know, so there we go.
You know, I have another video. Maybe we talk about it one day, another talk. But I do have a video where I talk about business women who have highly educated. How polygamy might be a good thing for them, and
polygyny is a good thing for us.
Yeah, you like that. I know you like that topic because you told me about it before. Yeah.
I think it's off topic, but I think polygyny is good for highly educated business women living in America. You know, especially if you're of a certain age. You know, you don't need or want a husband underfoot all the time. You know, so polygyny works out.
And I was saying to some sisters in the video that even some brothers who are educated, who have money, a lot of times they're looking for 2 or 3 wives.
That's right.
And they don't mind their age. Sometimes they don't mind they having children, and because they're educated men or they have finances and they're educated, they're a little bit softer than the guys my age.
Right.
I'm in my 40s, right? Some brothers a little bit older, some brothers already established, they're a little bit more easygoing. They know how to deal with women in situations very different, and they're very calm. And at the same time, the women don't have to be worrying about, you know, where the man is at. She get a little break from him. When he go visit his other family members and family, she get a little break. It's her business. She can do her business, her education, you know, all these things. So maybe we would talk about this topic together one day in the future. In the future, inshallah, for sisters out there. I hear a lot of sisters, they complaining and they got good jobs, they working, and they having problems getting married. I think sometimes polygamy might be a good thing for them, for brothers who are educated, who got money, who's looking.
Yeah, it's true. You know? It's very true. I don't disagree at all.
You know, I know I see a lot of sisters in the comments and stuff. So I know a lot of sisters right now who got education. They probably watching my video right now. You know, polygamy might be a good option for them, especially brothers in business.
Yeah, you know, because like I said, women of a certain age and of a certain caliber, she doesn't need or want a husband underfoot all the time. You know what I'm saying? He can come 2-3 days a week, 4 days a week, and she's good with that. You know what I'm saying? You know?
And she can handle her affairs, her business.
Exactly. And she may just want somebody, you know, that she can travel with, you know, chill with, be with, you know what I'm saying? And she might not want children.
MashaAllah. See, now maybe you can find now, maybe some brothers I know listen to this video like, yeah, man. No, maybe I found you a husband by you saying that.
Huh? I don't know. But okay.
Maybe. Inshallah. Maybe. All right, so we're gonna close up.
All right.
We're gonna close up, inshallah. Anybody who wants to follow the sister, just look in the description of the video. Thank you.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. As anybody who has a voice, who speaks about Black people's issues on social media, Facebook, YouTube, more so for Facebook and Instagram and other social media, that there is backlash with it by those who have or own the platform, Facebook itself. And some of the backlash, as I mentioned in the previous video, is that Facebook allowed Blacks to voice their feelings and their experience during George Floyd protests and the riots, because a lot of these things helped Joe Biden, and Facebook was anti-Donald Trump. So they allow a lot of the Black people to voice their feelings about systemic racism in America, white supremacy, how it affects on the Black community. But once Joe Biden was elected and got into office, Facebook started to, like other social medias, silence those who talk about issues, racial issues pertaining to African Americans in the U.S. And me, for say, as I mentioned before, is that, you know, I've been on Facebook for like 15 years, maybe longer, and I always had Facebook using for the purpose of spreading Islam, and I always worked or I always use Facebook for boosting posts and for advertisement for a particular masjid I work in, and for my website, which is titled Islam Finance. After I started talking about Black people's issues on Facebook, doing George Floyd protests, and once Joe Biden got elected in office, I noticed that when I went to boost my posts or pay for ads, that Facebook said that I was a political party. They have recognized my profile on Facebook to be as a political party, and that they wanted me to give them my ID and show proof of address, which I did. I did it. And after I gave them the information, they still did not remove. They was looking for more excuses and more excuses. So for anybody who likes some of the content that I have, please share, click like and share. If you click like and share on the videos, this will spread, this will promote the post, and it will promote the page, and it will promote our group. All you gotta do is click like, share, whether you share it to somebody on Messenger, and if you can share it to other people outside of Facebook, this is even better. This is something that is better. If you share it outside of Facebook, on WhatsApp, or on a message or Messenger, Facebook Messenger, or on WhatsApp or any other social media, please do so. This will definitely help the page. For those who want to financial assist, donate, right? If you want to donate, if you like some of the guests I have, and if you'd like to see more of these different guests, which I have already lined up, you can please assist me by donating. I have my Cash App in the description of this video, which is $Islam Finest, Islam's Finest, which is in the description of this video.